June 29, 2000. NASA's entire command network for the International Space Station suddenly grinds to a halt. For 21 days, astronauts orbiting 250 miles above Earth are cut off from ground control. No commands, no telemetry, just silence. When investigators finally trace the breach, the trail doesn't lead to Moscow or Beijing. It leads to a teenager's bedroom. How does a 15-year-old break into the most secure space agency on Earth from a home computer running Windows 98? Was it a fluke, a dare, or something far more deliberate? They called him C0MRADE, a name that would terrify the U.S. government and rewrite the meaning of teenage rebellion. Jonathan James, Miami, Florida. A quiet, brilliant teenager with a gift for code and a deep distrust of authority. He wasn't in it for money. He wasn't in it for fame. He did it for the challenge. At 13, he was already breaking into corporate servers just to see if he could. By 14, he'd slipped into the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, the arm of the Pentagon responsible for nuclear readiness. He read internal emails, monitored security tests, even intercepted usernames. And when he wasn't caught, he realized something chilling. No system was truly secure. So he went higher. NASA. For weeks, he studied their network architecture, buried behind multiple layers of firewalls and government encryption. He mapped each gateway one by one. He watched, waited, and exploited a weak password in a proxy server. A single crack in a billion-dollar wall. Once inside, he moved like a ghost. He downloaded $1.7 million worth of proprietary software, code that controlled the International Space Station's life support systems. NASA engineers panicked. They shut everything down, isolating 13 computers and sealing off the entire network. It cost them $41,000 to rebuild, and they had no idea who did it. Then one day, the line lit up. An IP trace, Miami. FBI agents surrounded a small suburban house. Inside, they found an old desktop tower, a few hard drives, and a teenager who looked like he'd just finished his homework. Jonathan James, 15 years old, the youngest hacker ever charged with a federal cybercrime. When agents asked why he did it, he smiled and said, "Because I could." In court, prosecutors called him a danger to national security. To others, he was a genius, a prodigy who proved how fragile even the world's strongest systems really were. He was sentenced to house arrest, probation, and a ban from using computers. For most, that would have been the end of the story. But for Jonathan, it was only the beginning of something darker. As he grew older, his distrust deepened. He believed the government had turned him into a scapegoat to hide its own failures. And in 2008, at just 24 years old, Jonathan James was found dead in his home. A single gunshot wound. A note beside him read, "I have no faith in the justice system." He was the first hacker ever to breach NASA, and the youngest to be tried as an adult. Some say he was a warning. Others say he was a hero. But one question still echoes through cyberspace. If a 15-year-old could hack NASA in 2000, what could a 15-year-old do today?